Hello, and thank you for joining me on this little review of a Pegasus 300 from Lexmoto. Now, I've now owned this for nearly 2 months, so I thought I'd do a little review on how I'm getting on. As you can see, there's only one colour, which is a silver and white. So just a little look around the bike at the moment. Please excuse the ladies changing in the background. That's the Coldwater Women's Swimming Club in Shepperton. So I did try and not film them. But it's fitted with ABS. And Taro shocks on the back. 2 sets of Taro shocks, which are very smooth. And the usual kill switch. We have the hazard warning lights and then the usual start switch underneath. On the other side we have the flash at the front, then we've got the dip and main beam with the indicators and then the horn. So I'm just going to show you quickly the dashboard area. Now this is where you can change your dashboard, have one dashboard per week. So just by flicking through you get the different styles, and this is my favourite, so I generally use this one. And now another little trick: if you do hold this right hand button in whilst the engine's running, you'll get all the information from the ECU. Not that I know what it's saying, I can tell roughly what temperature is, but other than that it is useful if you know what you're looking for. There we go, we've got LED lights surrounding the main lights, and then the main lights are just on the inside there. And there we go, there's the tail lights and brake lights, both LED as well. If we push this little rocker switch forward, that opens the fuel filler tank, and push it down and that opens up the boot lid, which is unusual as it opens to the rear. Plenty of space for a full helmet, and then at the back just a small little space for any bits and pieces. Well, we're going to go for a little ride now. Now this is by no means a professional video. There is another one called Rev Bomb who done a review when it was new on his channel. He's much more professional. But unfortunately the camera is facing down, so all you're going to see is pretty much my hands and the dashboard. So we're currently in Old Shepperton, heading towards Chertsey now. And it does pick up speed very well. And as I mentioned, I've had this scooter for nearly 2 months now. It's had its first service at 300 miles. It's now 370, and it just about suits me nicely. I do about a 10-mile each way journey to work when it's not raining. And previous to this I had a Suzuki Bergman, which was a 400, and I just couldn't quite just didn't like it. It was quite bumpy. There was a lot of vibration, being a 400. I think they call them thumpers. But this one is actually a 276cc liquid cooled engine. And as I mentioned, this is much smoother than the Suzuki Bergman. This is Surrey, so we've got one of the worst roads in the country, potholes everywhere, but it does soak up the bumps very nicely. It's a top speed of 125 kilometers and 19.5 kilowatts at 8,000 revs per minute. I've got nowhere near the 8,000 revs per minute. Maximum I've actually done is about 60 miles per hour at the moment. It will do, I think, 78 miles an hour. As I say, I haven't got there yet. Once I've had the next service, it will open it up fully then. but nice smooth engine. Also the parts are fairly cheap, being a Lexmoto, but one thing of interest, some things are very expensive. The drive belt I've noticed is £214, and if you need an ABS module, that's also £214, and if you need a complete brake system, that's £407. So I'm assuming they're using some better parts in the electricals and the braking system, which is good to know. Now currently heading towards a place called St Anne's Hill, which is near Chertsey. Once again the usual Surrey bumpy roads, but it's soaking up those bumps very nicely. Just a small road now, so there's certainly loads of bumps down this one. Loads of potholes in Surrey. And now arriving at St Anne's Hill. Right, so I'm now going to show a little bit of a faster road onto a dual carriageway. This is St Peter's Way, Chertsey, heading down towards the M25. It's only a 50-mile-an-hour road, so we can quite comfortably do the 50-mile-an-hour road. The one thing I would like is a top box for the back. Now that wasn't available until recently. It's come up on the parts manual now, so that should be out shortly. And one thing that I would like, the only downside, is a bigger screen. You do tend to catch the wind onto your body. The small screen that's on there doesn't really do much. So if Lexmoto could come out with a screen, that would be great. And the only problem I've had with it when it went for its service, I had no trouble at all. Went for the service, the mechanic brought it out, went to start it, nothing, wouldn't start at all. He took it back and it was a starter solenoid, so that was replaced under warranty. So that's the only problem I've had. Other than that, it's been a great bike. So there we are, passing the M25 now, heading back towards Chertsey, and this is another 50-mile-an-hour stretch. And one thing I was thinking of doing was getting some Oxford grips for the winter, but I didn't really fancy pulling the bodywork apart, so I've actually got some rechargeable electric gloves, which seem to do quite nicely, so I'm very happy with those. So it keeps up with traffic very well, even though it's on 3/4 power until the next service. So I'm very happy with it. So we're now just coming up towards the end of the video now, and I hope you did like this video. Please subscribe to my channel, which is normally restored model cars, but I hope you do like it. Thank you very much for watching, and I hope to see you again very shortly. Goodbye for now. Thank you.